or something. Awesome. Okay. So, yes, happy to be with you guys once again. And it's so cool to see some names, some school boards that I recognize. CDSBEO is there. Hey, gang. Mr. Dan Lordsey, I work with on a regular basis from the OYAP program, and so many others of you as well. Karen, tell Dan I say hi. So yes, I am coming to you live from the Toronto National Home Show. We were invited this year because the home show is all about home renovations and stuff. And they reached out to me and said, you know what? This is all about promoting home renovations and stuff and whatever. And why not have Skills Ontario there to, talk about what they do and how we promote this to everyone, to youth and whatever. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And what a great way to show off our new mobile class unit, the new, okay, let me get this right. The Skills, Trades, and Tech Truck. Yeah, that's what it's called. And it's parked here and it's all opened up. And as Susan was saying, it's pretty cool. Now, the cooler thing is, yeah, if you want to come down here and check it out, if you live here, please do. But the cool thing is you can have this parked outside your classrooms, your schools in the parking lots. We're going to be putting this thing out on the road. We're going to work together. We're going to get it to your schools and other events in your regions where students, teachers, parents can climb on board and actually try a trade virtually, of course. We have everything from a virtual simulator where you're actually sitting there. You can operate a backhoe or a crane. We've got welding. We've got auto painting. We've got a whole electrical panel thing that students can explore, see what goes behind the drywall in a home. We got those virtual goggles where you can be on a site where you're actually, feels like you're there and you see what's going on. There's so much stuff in the mobile class unit that we're very proud of. We couldn't have done this without the Ontario government support and a lot of others who supported this financially for us. So thank you to them. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me go here. That's not what I want. Share screen is here. Boom. Okay, one sec. Here we go. Now you're going to see, there you go. Now I'm going to go to slideshow. That slideshow? I can't see. How do I go from the beginning? Slideshow from the beginning. All right, so far so good. I'm going to go past this one. So my name is Dan. I am the Senior Provincial Engagement Coordinator with Skills Ontario. As Susan was telling you, this isn't new for me. I've been around since the 90s doing this stuff. I'm from Cornwall, Ontario originally, where I started my career in employment and education at a little place called Job Zone, Job Zone d'Emploi. They're the service provider for the Employment Ontario program. I was helping people connect with employers and stuff. I also work with 2 colleges, and I've been with Skills now going on 7 years. It's been nothing but a fun ride, let me tell you. And the reason why I did join Skills is because I wanted to have fun. And it's been nothing but fun, whether it's this truck or in the classrooms with the students. I also have the privilege of hosting the closing ceremonies at the big Skills Ontario competition that we hold every year. Normally it's in person. Due to COVID, it's all been virtual, but we're going to get back there, and it's a pretty. That's another thing. If you can make it out to sea, bring some students out there. It's pretty cool. So we like to call ourselves leaders in inspiring Ontario's future workforce. That's what we do. We're committed to preparing Ontario's youth for the highly skilled, and I know this is adult education. I get that. Just let me tell you what Skills is about. Our main focus is elementary and high school students, okay? So we're preparing them for the economy of tomorrow. And we're partnering with every school board in Ontario, every college in Ontario, small business, large companies, labor groups, and governments. We work with all these people to provide opportunities for our young people to explore and develop skills for a successful career in the skilled trades and technologies. With over 30 years, it's been over 30 years. It's crazy. Skills Ontario is we're a province-wide organization with grassroots connections in many communities. And I mean that. One of my missions when I joined Skills Ontario was to not just have stuff in Toronto and Ottawa. And in the last couple of years, I've listened to my school boards and I've brought stuff to your communities. You can talk to Dan Lordsey, the OYAP coordinator from the CDSBEO. Sorry, I don't know if I got that right. We're doing stuff in Renfrew, Kingston, Belleville, Hastings, Prince Edward, Prescott Russell, Thunder Bay. All right. My mission when I started my new role after being a liaison officer was to bring stuff closer to your homes, to your communities. And I like to say that we've done that. What do we do? Well, what don't we do at this point? We're building Ontario's skilled trades and tech force. And by doing this, we do this through all our programs. Now, I can read everything that's on the screen, but you know what? Let me show you this. Well, first of all, why do we do it? Well, because there's a shortage. By the year 2030, we're going to need over 560,000 skilled trade workers. And maybe you're sitting there going, yeah, whatever. Okay. Who's going to build our homes? Who's going to fix our cars? The planes that we travel in? All this stuff. Everyday skilled trades. We touch things that involve skilled trades every day. And if young people aren't going into these careers, or if anybody's not going into these careers, I don't know what we're going to do. Now, there are over 140 hands-on professions designated as skilled trades in the province of Ontario. And they fall into different categories. You've got construction, industrial, motive power, service, and technologies. Now, before I get into all this, yes, I want to make it clear that Skills Ontario's mandate is to work with elementary and high school students. But we've broadened that. When we do events, whenever we can, we invite the general public as well. You could be 45 years old if you want. If you want to learn about skilled trades, careers in skilled trades and technologies, we're more than happy to inform you what it's all about. Just know that the bulk of what we do is for the students, but we try, and we've really tried to make our programs and our events accessible to adult learners or the adult population. Okay, so if someone's interested in finding out the pathway towards a career in skilled trades, that's what we like to do. So construction, industrial, motive power, service, and technologies are the 5 sectors that skilled trades are all about. So in construction, I mean, where do we start? All right. Construction is a lot more than hammer and nails. We've got welding, we've got electrical, we've got, my God, there's so much. Okay. And when you choose a career in construction, you've got to be prepared for what's ahead. Now, a lot of people think that, okay, construction's easy. I don't have to be too intelligent to do this. You're banging nails. No. This is a myth that Skills Ontario is trying so hard to get rid of. We're trying to let people know that a career in construction, you need to be creative, artistic, intelligent, very good at math, because you're working with stuff. You're basically, what I tell students is, think about it. A carpenter shows up first day on the job, there's nothing there. But by the time he or she is finished, and all their buddies, electrical, whatever, you name it, you have a house standing. That's creativity, all right? That is artistic. You need to have that in your brain to be able to work in this field. Industrial is for anyone who's interested in taking stuff apart, figuring out a problem, putting it back together, okay? Well, and fixing it too. That's the important part. So if you are someone, whether you're 17 or 30 years old, who likes to work with your hands, take stuff apart, use your brain to figure out what the problem is and fix it, do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. Don't go get a job behind a desk. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You'll either get fired or quit. You're going to hate it because you're a thinker. You need to work with those hands, put stuff together, take it apart, figure out the problem, fix it. And there's many careers. There's machinists, there's CNC. There's a lot of careers in the industrial sector. As I said, there's like 145 careers in the skilled trades. I can't name them all. We'll be here all day. And I'm sure this is those of you having lunch during this Lunch and Learn series don't want to be here all day. And I understand that. But we're giving you some examples of not only some examples of some careers that are in these sectors, but what the sectors are. Motive power is pretty much self-explanatory. Anything to do with a car, a plane, a boat, or a train. You ever see the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but it's a great movie. Motive power is when you're either fixing an engine, you're fixing the auto body work of the car, you're painting it, whatever. These careers are in such high demand right now. It's crazy. From the engine to the auto body work, all right? Employers are begging for people. That is why we exist. The skilled trades, as you saw, there's a major shortage. We're trying to show people, not just students, that there's a need for you out there to do these careers. So if you love cars, working on cars, the body, the engine, please consider a career in the skilled trades. The opportunities are endless. The making money part, well, look at making money. Money will come. Okay, you get paid based on two things, your experience and your reputation. The more experience you have, the more money you will make. The better your reputation is, the more money you will make. I have a lot of experience in this stuff. My reputation must be good. Susan keeps calling me to do these presentations. If I wasn't good, if my reputation wasn't good, or if my experience was, I wouldn't be invited back. It's the same thing in a career in the skilled trades. Doctor, lawyer, public speaker, banker, skilled trades. Experience and reputation is how you get paid in the motive sector, in any sector in the skilled trades and tech world. The service industry is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. Because in the service industry, especially in a skilled trade, in order for you to get paid, you need two skill sets. One, you got to know what you're doing. No one's going to pay you if you don't know what you're doing. And two, the most important part, a personality. That's right. You got to be nice to people, even though sometimes it's very hard to do. And I tell students all the time, think about it. You might, let's say you're a hairstylist, and I'll use that because that's the picture we have up here, because hairstyling is a trade, just like culinary is a trade, baking's a trade, carpentry and auto mechanic is a trade. But if you're working in the service industry, and that could be in the automotive service industry, you might own your own company and you're dealing with customers, okay? I walk in to get my hair cut. Person's not very nice. Does a great job on my hair. I look fantastic, but they were a little rude and my experience wasn't great. You think I'm going back? No, I'm not. Now switch it around. The person's super nice, offers me a coffee. Everything's great. The experience is good. This place smells good. They got nice music playing. My God, this place is awesome, but they butcher my hair. Do you think I'm going back? No. To make it in the service sector, in the skilled trades, you need two things. You got to know what you're doing, which means you need the training and the experience. And you need a personality. Otherwise, no one's coming to you. And like I said, this isn't just for cutting hair. It could be culinary. You're a chef. It could be mechanics. You own your own mechanic shop, your own business in HVAC, heating and cooling and ventilation, okay? This is for anything in the service sector, specifically in the skilled trades and technologies. Speaking of technologies, tech has changed everything. It's changed every single career out there, including every career in the skilled trades. When you bring your car in to get fixed now, it's no longer just opening up the hood, having a look and saying, oh, there's a problem. No, the first thing they do is they have this contraption, they plug it into your car and they look at their computer and it tells you what's wrong with the car. Remember, your car's 50% computer now. So are there questions? I can't see anything. Does anybody have anything they want to add or say here, or am I just continuing?
Dan,
Yeah.
Paul has a question. He
Go ahead.
said the government is sinking billions of dollars into the new auto sector, electrical and hydrogen vehicles, the vehicles of tomorrow. Very exciting. It's not really a question, but are there some of these that are particularly accelerated at the moment? Like, or are they all equally offering opportunities? That was maybe part of it.
Well, I guess it depends. I mean, there's still cars to run on gas, and there's a lot of them. Okay, so we need to keep those people fixing those cars. But it's funny you say that, Paul, because I know you want to come see the truck. In the truck, there's a little display that shows you the mechanisms about. Shows you. It's a concept about the Toyota Prius, so that the kids can see, like, okay, this is what's going on. So yeah, we're going that way. We are, and there's a lot of incentives and whatever you want to call it. And mechanics who are working on regular cars, are being trained right now for those cars, because if they want to make money, they got to know what's doing. So like you said, it's not really a question. I'm kind of adding to your statements, and hopefully that clears things up a little bit. Are they pushing one over the other? Well, they're pushing mechanics to learn about these particular kinds of vehicles because they're taking over, but there's still a lot of cars out there that run on gas and oil, so they got to keep those guys trained as well. So that's my 2 cents on that. But on that point, and while we're on technology, Paul, training, education, brains. People think that if you go into a skilled trade, you're not very intelligent because all you're doing is swinging a hammer. These folks could not be more wrong. The amount of intelligence it takes to fix a car, whether it's electric or gas, the amount of intelligence it takes to work on boards like this or electrical is insane. You need to have a brain to work in this stuff, okay? So anybody who tells you that people who work in skilled trades aren't very intelligent and they're poor, look at these people don't know what they're talking about. Just because you wear a suit doesn't mean you have more money than me. Okay. It doesn't mean anything, to be quite honest with you. Like we said, money comes. It comes with experience and reputation. The better you are at something, the better you're known for it, the more money you will make. What I try and tell students is, hey, don't get me wrong. I wore a suit for years. When I worked at the colleges and stuff like that, I had a suit on. I looked good. I look better than Paul did. I'll tell you that. Um, but I'm kidding, Paul. But for me today, at the age of 50, the fact that I don't have to wear a suit when I'm talking to you proves that I've achieved success, because you're listening to me and not my tie. No offense, Paul. I get the tie thing. I get that. But for me, you're looking at me, you're listening to me, you're not looking at my suit. So to me, that's a version of success. And I get that some jobs require a suit. I get that. But what kids need to know, what people need to know, what you guys need to know, what your students need to know is, in today's world, it's not a suit in a corner office that means you're making lots of money and that you're successful. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So technologies, I want to go back to that unless there's more questions. I can't see anything, so please feel free to interrupt me at any time if you have a question. I'll gladly answer it or have a discussion with you. And we have more time at the end to do that as well. So technologies is taking over everything, as we all know, the self-driving vehicles. Paul, perfect example. These cars that are coming out, that's all tech, right? But tech is everywhere. It's in you walk into a major construction site today, yeah, you hear the hammers going and the saws going, but you got the iPads and the drones and everything like that, because without them, look at a home that was built in 1985 and look at a home that was built in 2015. Do they look the same? Not at all. The reason it's changed is because of technologies. The brick is different. The way we heat and cool our homes is different. All of it is different. Our bathrooms. So tech has played a huge part in the skilled trades, and that's why we put them together. Now, we also at our Skills Ontario competition, and we do promote this, is anything from 3D animation, video game design, coding. This is all part of what Skills Ontario does. And we like to tell people, students of any age, this is a great career. And if you can do this, and again, get that experience, build yourself a reputation, you can have a very, very, very good life. I know this firsthand. My brother-in-law is a video game designer. He worked for EA Sports. He's moved on from there now. He works for a company in the United States, but he's making like $170,000 a year. And he started by designing video games. So if you have kids and this is what they want to do, please don't discourage them. Please don't discourage them. Because working at a bank and designing video games, you'll probably make more money designing video games. Just say, if that's what you care about. This is stuff that we do, and this is important for any of you who work in the school system, okay? This is pre-COVID, and I leave it here because we are going to go back to this, and we're hoping you'll see summer camps there in the middle. We're trying to get our summer camps back into in-person camps this summer, and then hopefully in September, if all goes well, we're back in your classrooms. You'll see the in-school presentations where someone comes in. Right now, we're doing it virtually, and we do a presentation similar to what I'm doing now, but it's more for the students. And what I'm doing now is more for the adult students, I guess. And we talk about your pathways, which we will talk about, to a career in skilled trades and technologies. We have young women's programs, First Nation, Métis, and Inuit initiatives, our summer camps that I just talked about, our cardboard bowl races, really quick, the cardboard bowl races. What they do is teams of 4 of students. We have an elementary challenge and a secondary challenge. They come in, we give them a big piece of a big sheet of cardboard and duct tape. What they build is up to them. They build a boat, then we take them over to the pool. They race their boats. The winners go on to represent their school at the provincial championships. Now, a lot of people ask me, okay, why do you do this other than for fun? Well, number one, it is fun. But think about what these students are learning while they're doing this. Communication skills, teamwork skills, okay? All that stuff. And I tell the students, if you're building something out of cardboard and duct tape and you're having this much fun, how much fun would you have building something real and making good money doing it? That's why we do it. And of course, our big Skills Ontario competition that I mentioned earlier on, that's held every year in person at the Toronto Congress Centre. For the last 3 years, it has been virtual. We are hoping to get back there soon, where students and people come in and compete, move on to represent Ontario to Skills Canada competition. From there, they represent Canada at the World Skills Competition. You got Skills Russia, Skills USA, Skills Japan. They're all there. It's pretty cool. We reach over 100 of the Ontario elementary schools, secondary schools, and colleges that are affiliated with Skills Ontario. Over 2,300 institutions are affiliated with Skills Ontario, school friendship centers, band offices, colleges, and other training organizations. And over 365,000 students are impacted by our programs annually. Now, This is
Dan,
all stuff.
sorry,
Yeah,
just before you continue, we had one other question, and you
yeah.
may, and feel free to say you're going to talk about that in a minute, but Carrie has posted that in adult education, we work with learners who in many cases um, did not do well academically, but are
Mhm.
strong hands-on learners. And
Yep.
that's similar to what you've talked about. And her question is, how do we bridge the gap for our adult learners who want to get into the skilled trade? So that might be something that's coming up that you're going to
Yeah,
talk about.
I
But
want to. I wanted to just give you guys a little overview of everything, and I'm just going to go through this really quick because it doesn't really affect you guys. So I just wanted you to see the stuff that we do, the competition, everything like that. So for your adult education and stuff like that, as I said, I'll talk and just go through these slides because they don't really impact what it is you're looking for. Um, for adult learners and the hands-on who didn't do specifically well academically, a skilled trade career is probably a wonderful pathway for them to go down. Now, to get into it, in order to get into this stuff, most of the time, the first thing you're going to need is an employer to hire you. Okay, that's the key right there. And from there, you're hoping to get onto an apprenticeship. Now, let me explain to you something. For your students who are adult learners, it's very hard for an employer to commit to someone, hire them, commit to them, pay them, put them through an apprenticeship program. If that person has no idea what working on a car is about, or working with electrical systems is about, or building a house is about, or whatever, you name it. So often what they have to do is they do have to go take some kind of a program or course in that field, unless they know about it. If you grew up working on cars your whole life, great. Or if you have an idea of what it is you're doing with, home, like electrical work and stuff like that, great. You have an idea of what's going on. But if you're looking to go into a skilled trade, but you've never played with a circuit board or anything like that, you're going to have to get some training done. And this is usually done at a local community college. Okay. Now, to get in there, maybe if they don't have a high school diploma, there are some tests, as you guys know, the pathway. There's some testing they can do to get in, to get accepted as mature students. So that's one way. Now, oftentimes, though, a garage or somebody, whatever in the skilled trades, will take someone on, start them off as a laborer, and then they work their way up and see where it goes, and hopefully things work out and an apprenticeship follows. To do this, there are many, many service providers that exist out there that can help your students do this, okay? You've got Employment Ontario offices that are located all across the province. They have job developers there and employment counselors there that can work with these people with their resumes, their interview skills. And those job developers, which is what I did, have connections with the local employers. So if John or Samantha want a job in a certain job, whether it's skilled trade, well, they don't know John and Samantha, so it's hard for them to get in. But the job developer himself or herself has a relationship, so they can contact that employer and say, "Listen, I've met with this person. Here's what they got. I'd like for you to give them a shot." And more often than not, the employer will listen to the job developer, and here we go. The door is open, and it's up to them to go in there and prove themselves. So that's one way to do it. So you need to understand that my current job is Skills Ontario, where we promote this to elementary schools and high schools and parents and stuff like that. But if I can give you any tips on helping your students, the adult learners, I'll do it. Now, there's the Employment Ontario route. There's banging on doors. There's co-op programs. I don't know if there's co-op programs with the adult side of things, but those are the things that will help the students get their foot in the door, if you will. But they need to do some hustling and bustling on their own. They got to knock on those doors. They got to go in person. Sometimes it says, "Oh, email us your resume." I hate that, because how do you get a feel for a person through an email? I like someone who goes in, knocks on the door, comes in, say, "My name is so-and-so. Here's my stuff. I'm very interested. I'm willing to start at the bottom to show you what I can do." That shows the employer your interest. I don't know if that answers the question, but that's the information I've got when it comes to those certain students who want to do that.
to
Now,
bridge, Dan, there's
yeah,
another question that's come in, which is also related to our students, which is when we have newcomers who have come to Canada and they've
yep,
worked in their home country in the trades, how do we help direct them towards the skill trades? They may have that really good experience, that hands-on experience, but they don't have the Canadian experience. So how does that work?
yeah. That wonderful Canadian experience, isn't it? Isn't it great, eh? You got somebody that could probably build 3 houses in no time, better than somebody here, but yet nobody wants to give them a shot. Frustrating, I know. So, look, again, most of these Employment Ontario offices do have programs for that. I know that the YMCA, where I'm from, in the Ottawa region, has a New Canadians in the Skilled Trades program where they 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 take this I know because I've spoken to them for Skills Ontario before, and they're building stuff and they're trying to get some experience in this program so that they can go to the employer and say, look, not only have I done this, but I have this. Now, the thing is, they might have to start all over again. Unfortunately, they might have to start at the bottom as a laborer, show them what they can do. Some employers, no problem. Now, you would think that being there's such a shortage out there that the employers would be a bit more open to, sure, no problem. I'll take anybody at this point or whatever. But it's still hard. I get it. So again, for us, we have our diversity, equity, and inclusion program where we do all kinds of speaking sessions with people who are New Canadians who work in the skilled trades. And if you go to our website, skillsontario.com, you'll see, I think there's some of them coming up, or we've had, I'm not sure, again, I'm at the home show right now. I'm not quite sure what's happening with skills right now. I've been so immersed here. But if you go to the website, skillsontario.com, and you go to all our programs, diversity, inclusion, you'll see some stuff, some speaker series and stuff like that where they can get involved with that. But as far as hitting the ground running, again, it's no different. I mean, if there's an organization that can help, speak for them to say, hey, listen, I've got a candidate here. Here's what they do. Here's what they know. That always helps. I don't have an magic ticket that says, well, here's what you got to do, and there you go. I'm more the, hey, skilled trades are good. You should consider it. These people have already, like we said earlier, they drank the Kool-Aid. They're in. This is what they want to do. Well, from there on in, this usually goes on to apprenticeship, the college route. Anybody that's willing to open their doors to give them an opportunity. And for that, you need certain organizations like Employment Ontario, which is a nonprofit organization. Everything is free for them, just like us, and hopefully open some doors and get them going with their resume and education guidance that they can do. That's the best way I can answer that. Is there anything else? Any other questions, Susan, that people are asking? Or
I know I have some questions, but I can wait till you're finished and ask them at the end.
Finished. I mean, the presentation itself, the PowerPoint, I'm using the same one I used back in November. I thought it was, I know I was told that people had really liked it, but it seems like it's not really, what I'm showing you on the screen is not really, I don't want to say what folks here are looking for, because I'm really just talking about Skills Ontario and what we do and what we can do moving forward here. But what I stopped it here on the moving forward screen because we need to change as well. Yeah, what we've been doing for 30 years has worked, and the elementary schools and the secondary schools, yeah, that thing's rocking. That's not a problem. We're kicking butt there in our competition and our programs. But moving forward, and the reason why we created my new role, I created this new role, is we need to do more. And we need to do more. Yes, keep focusing. I mean, the government gives us money. Our mandate is for the school boards and the students. But I am willing to work with anyone, whether it's a municipality, an economic development, the school boards, the adult educators. What can we do to inform, to guide, to help anyone, whether they're adult learners or whatever, to get to that next step, to get them to that career in the skilled trades and tech. So that's why I stopped it here. So if anybody has I know that, I'll give you an example. Tourism Ontario reached out. COVID hit tourism big time. They reached out to me and said, Dan, what could Skills Ontario do to promote careers and skilled trades in the tourism sector? We're doing that. Something we've never done before, but we have the ability to put this together, to promote this to students and stuff like that. So those of you who are in, and Dan Lortzy's part of this from the Catholic District School Board of Eastern Ontario, he's part of this. We're doing it for that board. If any, we're doing it currently from the Quebec border, this is along the 401 basically, to Brockville, and then in the fall, we're doing Kingston all the way out to Trenton. If your school is located around there, have your students join that. What we're doing is I have a panel of employers that are going to be on there who work in the tourism sector, who work in a skilled trade. They're going to talk about their experience, how they got there, why it's awesome, and why people should consider it. And we're also going to have Algonquin College, Loyalist College, the OYAP program. We're going to be talking how to get to that. particular career. Now, again, the main focus is the grade 7 and 8s and high school students, but in the ones I've done in the past, we've had, parents join the conversation and stuff like that. I'm actually doing something very similar for Kingston, Belleville, Hastings, Prince Edward County, and Renfrew. We're doing a discovery day, which was the same thing as what I'm doing for the tourism sector. Panel of employers from those regions are going to talk about all those careers and education experts that tell you how to get there. And the reason why we're doing this, that whole regional thing is I want students or anyone joining us, parents, adult learners, to see that these careers are right in their backyard. You don't have to move to Toronto or Ottawa or whatever to get these careers. They're right in your backyard. So that's why this is open to everyone, not just the students. Parents join in, uncles join in, your cat can join if they want to. And it's a discovery day about careers and skilled trades that exist in your region. That's all on our website. So hopefully that helps a little bit too about what we're doing moving forward. Yes, we're going to continue working with the elementary and high school students. That's our mandate. But we're looking outside that famous box of what else we can do.
So, Dan, there's another question from Jamie asking, how would they get to book the truck to come to their school? Like, can you book it right on the website, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can go to the website. I believe it's on there. It's Nicole Chapman. So Nicole Chapman, Chapman. Nicole Chapman is, and I can put Nicole's phone number. I don't know if I have her email right here. Anyways, I can put that in the chat box too. Nicole is our truck coordinator. She saw it being built from beginning to where it is today, and all bookings can be done through her, or you'll see right here. There's my email. All right, you want to take a screenshot or whatever. Email's the best way. Phone. I mean, I love talking on the phone. I prefer talking on the phone. But if we start with an email, that way there, I can just forward that over to Nicole. And this truck is available. I don't want to say for free, but we're looking at the more. I mean, we got to get. I mean, it costs money to run this thing, right? So I mean, if there's something that we could do through the OYAP program or something like that, that'd be great. But this is not for me to talk about. This is for Nicole to talk about. But we'd love. The goal is to have it parked in those school yards and everything, and get students on board, whether they're 20 or 10. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the whole goal. And I really wish I could take you on that little virtual thing and just show it to you, but it's way at the other end, and I there was no way I could do this from there. It's just too loud out there. So to book the truck, you can send me the email. There's my information, or you can go on the website and check it out, and you can look it up there. Nicole Chapman is the truck coordinator, and I'm more than happy to discuss that further with you.
So, Dan, that's fantastic. And what I'm hearing throughout your presentation is that Skills Ontario is a potential partner in lots of different ways. It may be that, it sounds like there's lots of opportunities here. I just wanted to mention something that Michelle wrote, that at Waterloo Catholic, the adult ed has a great connection with the OYAP rep, and he's funded some of their student hairstyling exemption exams. So that would be an example of local partnership. Yeah.
Yes. I am open to talk. So OYAP, let me just go on OYAP here. I mentioned Dan a couple times. I work very closely with the OYAP coordinators from across the province. Yes, I'm going to have closer relationships from the ones who live in my area, because we're all from there, and whatever, from Belleville to Cornwall to Ottawa to Renfrew. I mean, these people have become my friends, of course, because I've been working with them for so long. But I do a lot of work with OYAP coordinators across the province. They're our contacts to get into those schools, right? SCWI, the dual credit program, is another one that we work very closely with. The colleges as well. So if the OYAP coordinator from your school board, whether you're in Waterloo or Ottawa or Thunder Bay, I heard Manitoulin Island there a while ago. Let's connect. And if it's not for the truck, maybe it's for something else. I mean, like I said, my job is to build those relationships with anyone who wants to work with us in promoting these careers. If a municipality or somebody wants to do some funding to get more done, hey, yeah, I'm all ears. Let's go. I mean, I'm not the sales guy from Skills Ontario. That is not my job. But the money that we get from the government and stuff is spoken for the programs that we currently have in place. So what we do is, it's nice to think outside of that box, but things cost money, as we all know that. And if we're going to do stuff, hey, if we can get some cash to get it done, it definitely helps, as you all know. Now, we know that SCWI dual credit, oh yeah, they all have budgets to spend throughout the year to get stuff done. And I mentioned those because those are the ones that are directly attached to you guys. But economic development offices, that tourism thing I just told you about. There's a committee that I sit on with Children's Aid Society and stuff. We're doing a day for foster kids and their foster parents. We're doing it in Ottawa at La Cité. It's going to be amazing. It's the truck will be there. Well, there's some money there. Like that helps us bring the truck out and pay staff and this and that. But this is all stuff we can get into down the road once we decide what we're doing. I don't want this to be a sales pitch. I'm here to help you with this stuff. So yes, your OYAP coordinator, yourself, whomever you think is the right person to connect with, myself if you want. I'm a good place to start. Let's put it that way. And then I decide, okay, well, does this go to our women's coordinator? Does this go to the truck coordinator? And then, okay, I get you going in the right direction. But please, if you're with a school board or anything, reach out. Let's have a chat. You never know where it can go. We've developed so many wonderful relationships and opportunities for different regions across the province just by having a chat virtually. And if you're close to me in the Ottawa region, I'll come see you. Let's go for that coffee. God, I miss it so much, So reach out. And if there's anything, if there's more information you want, I know this was very quick and fast, and it's not the ideal setting. I know that. I'm at the home show, but I didn't want to give this up, and Susan didn't want me to give it up. So I'm here, and I wanted to show you what it is that we do. I know you guys are working with the older students. I get that. We're trying to do more with that as well, and I'd love to do more with that if possible. So let's have that chat. Let's see what we can do. Let's work with other organizations, and let's see where it goes. Does that make sense what I'm saying, guys? Or is that?
It's great. And actually, Jennifer Jones, do you want to unmute yourself and say what you said in the chat about how you've worked locally? Because it's kind of interesting to hear different examples.
If she's going to unmute herself and start giving me crap, I don't want to hear it.
No, this is all good. It's all good.
Hi, Dan. Thanks.
Hey, Jen.
My point was just that I'm with Thames Valley in London, Ontario. And we already partner with our co-op team here at the board. And so we've set it up. So we've almost got like a quasi pathway where the ESL learners will take an ESL for work course. And then the next step is usually either their co-op or a credit course, depending on the time of year it is. But hairstyling seems to be one of the key courses that learners are interested in. There's almost always demand for it.
Sure.
And the year that we went off with COVID, we were just in the process of trying out a hybrid of credit and ESL for work for hairstyling because it's in the same building. So it was nice to have the flexibility to do that where learners took ESL in the morning and then did some of the hairstyling credit in the afternoon. So it kind of
that's fantastic.
Set up the process, but I mean, got them in sooner too that way.
Sure. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Jen, we've met before, right? I think we've spoken before.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because Thames Valley and your name, Jen Jones, it sounds pretty familiar. So I'm sure we've had conversations, probably at Blue Mountain, I think is what it was when you guys were, anyways, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where it was. That's fantastic. And if there's, so let's say for fun here, okay, at your school board for your students, if we can get a couple of school boards in that region, get that truck down there for them. You know what I mean? So that I hate to say it's worth the trip. It's always worth the trip, but you know what I'm trying to say? Money, right? So if your co-op is willing to work with us and say, well, here's a couple of bucks to get that truck down here, great. And then maybe your board and a couple of your other schools, which is your high schools or that. So we'll do the adult education. We'll get some high schools done too as well. And everybody gets a chance to see it. Again, I'm just thinking fast here, what things we could do together. That is definitely something that we could definitely look at. Does that make sense, Mrs. Jones?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. That's great.
Me and Mrs. Jones, we're going to work on work on the truck getting out there.
That's awesome.
I didn't sing. I just said it. Okay.
I have a question. Yeah, I have a question, and other people might know. I'm not as familiar with the differences between the regulated and the unregulated trades, because when we had a representative come and speak to us from Landscape Ontario, and they were talking a lot about all kinds of careers in landscape, in arborists, and all kinds of careers that I hadn't even thought about that were related to this. And then they said they wanted to be regulated, but they weren't regulated. And I didn't even understand really the difference. So I was wondering if you could explain that. And what are the differences for students? What difference does it make for them?
Okay, that's a whole big thing that I don't want to say anything that's not true.
Okay.
I just know that, yeah, some are regulated, some are like, so some carpentry that is regulated or not regulated. I think that all comes down to apprenticeship stuff, and you could be landscaping stuff and art without doing an apprenticeship. Whereas some things you need your apprenticeship for. The regulated part is where they follow you with the Ontario government and they tick off and you go write the exam and this and the levels and stuff. I'm 90% sure that's exactly what it is, but it's such a complicated world. You know what's funny? And I'm sticking with your question here. You want to be a nurse? Bang, here's what you got to do. You want to be a teacher? Boom, here's what you got to do. You want to be a doctor? What you got to do. You want to go into business? Skill trades is like, okay, where do I go and what's regulated? What's not? What's a red seal? Well, the red seal means this. Okay, well, do I need a red seal? Do I need regular? It is so complicated. So, you Google it, regulated versus non-regulated. What exactly is go to apprenticeship.ca or whatever, or the MLTSD website, Ministry of Labor Training Skills Development website, which does the whole apprenticeship stuff. All your information is there. But I'm sure that that's what it means about the writing the test and the certification stuff and everything like that. I'm 90% sure that that's what they're talking about. But if I'm wrong, don't come back and say, oh, that guy at Skills doesn't know his stuff. I know my stuff when it comes to Skills Ontario. But yes, it's that's pretty much what you're looking at, is what I think. So yeah, so the main point here is to help your students, the adult learners. Hey, reach out to us. Let's see what we can do. We won't say no. We will look at options. We'll definitely chat. Let's get the truck out to your school board. Let's work. Maybe if you have new Canadians, immigrant Canadians, maybe I can connect you with my diversity, equity, and inclusion program and see what we can do with you there. Okay, let's see how that goes. We have the podcast. I haven't recorded an episode in forever, but I have we have a new Canadian. She's a car mechanic, so I interviewed her. It's a wonderful story if you want to listen to that, or have new Canadians listen to that. But yeah, look, we're open to a conversation. What can we do? Yes, we work with elementary and high school. We work with every school board across the province. Everyone that was mentioned here, I know. What can we do with adult learners? Let's have the conversation. We're open to it. I don't know what else to say.
This is great. Oops, I think I'm still on
I hope
mute
it
here.
is. I hope you're not sitting there going, dude, this is totally useless. Like, I mean, he didn't even talk about, I tried to talk about the adult learning
Paul,
process.
no, you did. You did a great job. Paul, why don't you unmute and just say what you said in the chat?
I can't see anything. Do you want me to take my screen down or leave it up?
Sure, you can take it down now and we can just have a conversation. That's great. Thank you.
Dan, I was just going to suggest you're right. Running that truck is a cost, right? So you've got to, operate fiscally responsibly. But I was thinking from a school board mindset and lens, if you park it in a secondary school, your secondary students would kind of wander out before school, after school, at lunch if they were curious.
During
school, then you invite some of the elementary schools in as well too. For a little getaway from the school, you can do that. After school, when the students are dismissed, invite your adult learners in as well too. So you're engaging the three different groups. I just think that truck, I know it probably cost a bit. It's magical. And it's funny we're talking about this, Dan, because our PSW program coordinator is on the call as well too. And I know Anita's thinking the same thing as me. We were thinking of something similar for healthcare, right? But for 2 years, everybody on the planet's been in front of a screen. So talk about an experiential, engagement. So I think people are just dying for this. I think this truck's going to be really popular. So if you hit a school board, possibilities.
You know who's excited for this, Paul? You know who's really excited for this is my colleges. Because let's say, okay, well, how do you get it to every damn school in that region? That's going to be tough. But if we can park it at a college and have the schools come in one day and one by one or whatever, or have the college have an event in conjunction with us, I don't know. There's a lot we can do, right? So, but I love your idea. This is all stuff this is what the truck is meant for. We asked for money for 2 trucks. Yeah, they told us no. Let's start with 1.
Yeah.
That thing is, it's over $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? It
Really?
was,
Wow.
yeah. And we got a lot of sponsors on the truck as well. And that's all fine and dandy and beautiful, but we still got to move it around. We have to pay insurance to get, we have to hire a driver to drive it. We have to, we have to have staff in the region to work it. There's the whole operations and all that stuff of it is there, which I don't want to get into. That's not my job. Okay. My job is to build those partnerships with you guys, and let's make something beautiful happen with you and your students, your boards, and your communities. We get to that nitty gritty stuff once we chat and say, hey, this sounds like a great idea. Okay, what's the next step? Boom, I bring in those people and then they can handle it. My job is to build that relationship with you guys, and hopefully we can do something for your adult learners and help them, inform them, educate them, get them down that path that they want to get to. You need to remember, Skills Ontario mainly exists to promote these careers because we need people to know they exist. We don't match people with jobs. We don't connect them with employers. There's other organizations, like I said, Employment Ontario, where I started. They do that, and there's all kinds of programs out there for that. Our job is to promote them and get people interested. If your people are already interested, our job is, I don't want to say done, but they drank the Kool-Aid. Like I said, it's not about promotion anymore. It's about, okay, check it out. Here's what's out there. Mm-hmm. And when I'm talking to students and stuff like that, we talk about the pathway. We talk about the college pathway, the right to directly to work pathway, and the apprenticeship pathway. Yeah, there's university. We don't touch that one, okay, because there's enough out there for that. So the pathways we look at are straight to work, college, and apprenticeship. Because to get to a career and skilled trades, those are the three. You might not have the educational background to go to a college, or maybe the financial means to go to the college, okay? So you start on the job learning, laboring, okay, showing them what you can do. Whoops, they see talent, and away you go. You work yourself up. Next thing you know, you're an apprentice. In a perfect world, God, I wish it worked like that, and every 6 months you get that promotion. It doesn't work that way, and I know how hard it is out there. And guys, look, whether you're your students, we've all faced a challenge in our life, in our professional life, where we went, holy crap. Gotta watch what I say. I can't believe this is happening to me right now. What am I going to do? I would say 90% of the people on this call have faced that. Okay. And those who didn't, well, good for you. But it's not easy. We've all faced that. And all I want to do, and this is Dan speaking, all I want to do is give you the best service I can to help your students as possible. I don't have, what I've been telling people all week this week? I am not Willy Wonka. The truck is not the chocolate factory, and I don't have a golden ticket for you. Right. What I do have is 25 years experience. I've got a lot of relationships across the province of Ontario, not just with school boards, but with other organizations. And if there's anything we can do together to get your students to where they need to go, I'm happy to work with you, whether it's with Skills Ontario, or if you just want to give me you know how many parents call me and talking about their kids and their pathways? I have no problem talking to them, whether it involves Skills Ontario or not. So anyways, blah, 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 blah.
Suzanne, sorry,
Dan,
one follow-up.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Paul, and then I want to make sure we get to the evaluation, and I want to thank Dan properly. Okay, go ahead.
Dan, in terms of the truck and measuring the success, if people come into the truck, are you taking some sort of quick survey about who they are, age, et cetera, et cetera? I'm just thinking of, if your target is perhaps newcomers, females.
You mean here at the show, or when we start getting out there?
I think when you start getting out to school boards, will you do kind of that intake?
I am certain, Paul, that there is some sort of thing that we're going to be doing. Again, I'm not in charge of the truck.
Okay.
I'm the guy who talks to you about the truck and says, do you want it? Great, let's get it going. It's never been out anywhere yet. This is the second time it leaves our parking lot.
Okay.
And it was just completed a few weeks ago. So we said, what a great way to show it off at the home show. That's why it's here, and let's get going.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's something. I know here we're having people sign waiver forms saying, hey, if you get injured, it's just for us a way to get a head count of who's coming in. Yes. We try to, okay, there was a kid there was a parent there, but I'm sure there's something that Skills Ontario will be doing to catch those numbers. Okay. But the truck hasn't even been anywhere yet. I know that I'm taking it out to an event, like I said, in Ottawa, beginning of June, in collaboration to an event I'm working on with Collège La Cité together. And we're going to be taking down all those points. But I don't know what they have in place because, again, the truck is not my baby. It's my baby when it comes to talking about it. But Nicole Chapman is the coordinator, and she's the one who's got all that information. But I'm sure there's something.
Thank you. That's helpful.
That's
something
great.
will be in place, I'm sure.
Dan, I have a feeling you're going to get contacted by people on this call because it's very exciting, and it's even more exciting to think like this is the very beginning.
Yes, I will tell you what's in the truck.
and-
One sec.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna hear that. Let's just hear like a quick summary of the truck so
Sure.
people can get even more excited, and then we'll come back to finish up.
Sure, no problem. So in the truck, we have simulators, okay? Now, not just simulators. So you walk into the truck and your first thing you go is you go, wow, because it's bright, it's big and whatever. You have one section where it's tires and brakes. So we have a model there. It's an actual brake system and everything. It's all covered so nobody can touch and get hurt, but you can see how the brakes work. Then you have a tire that students can take the tire off, put the tire back on so they get to play with that. You also have a wall without any drywall on it. So you see what's behind the drywall in your home. Now, your home doesn't have 6 lights all together like this, but because we have different ones, but the students get to see all the wiring that goes into the circuit, the panel. And what we do have is you can fish some wires, see how they get the wires through the piping system and all that stuff and whatever, and all the electrical panel. We have a virtual thing where you put the goggles on and it's painting with an airbrush thing, but it's all virtual. You can paint a car, you can paint wood, you can paint drywall. We also have a fire alarm system, okay? So the sprinklers and how that works. We have that Toyota Prius thing. It's just a little thing. Anyway, then we have a closet where different, coveralls, hard hats, glasses, where students, this is what you wear. When you wear that, they can try it on. There's a mirror there. Then we have all the tools, skill saws, wrenches, whatever they can see and touch and hold. We have a virtual welding thing where you put the welder's mask on and everything. But instead of having a window here so the welder can see, it's virtual reality where what you're actually welding a bead here, okay? But it's just on a thing, so you can practice your welding skills. A 3D printing machine. We have the virtual goggles where you're kind of like you're in a kitchen or you're on a construction site, so you can see what it's like working on the site. We have, this is the jewel, the virtual crane operator or backhoe operator, heavy equipment operator chair where you're actually sitting in it, and not only do you get to drive it, but as soon as it does this, like the whole thing moves and you get to really feel what it's like to be in one of those things. And then we have a table in the middle where kids can put things together, work with their hands, be creative and stuff like that, and so much more. But that's the truck. And
awesome.
It's beautiful and it's big. Well, you've seen it, Susan. I mean,
I have.
it's
amazing.
cool. So
it is very exciting. Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. So
there's the answer to what's in the truck. Yeah.
Based on that, I think you're going to get even more inquiries. So I know I'm just looking.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Welcome,
thank
Tammy.
you so much.
Folks, just know, folks, that if you're going to email me today or within the next week, you got to give me time to get back to you. I do have an out of office reply that you will get if you email me. I'm not back to my home, my office, my home, same thing, until Monday. I leave here Monday, whatever that is, the 25th, 24th, I don't know. So it's going to take me some time to get back to you and I want to do it properly. I just don't want to say, hey man, thanks, let me get back to you when I get home. I don't want to do that. So just give me some time to get out of here. And I do have those discovery days that I'm working on. And if you're interested in anything about those discovery days in those regions that I talked about, yeah, let's chat about that. And I can send you the link and people can register and check it out. Other than that, I can't thank Kesba enough. I mean, I think this relationship alone that we've built, Susan, I called you the other day at your office and everything.
You picked up the phone. It was awesome.
This is my whole raison d'etre, is to build those relationships. And I can't thank the school boards enough. I mean, the relationships we have with our boards, without them, we don't exist. The colleges out there for sure. And this is what it's all about, is coming together, throwing some ideas back and forth, and hopefully coming up with ideas to help your students, your kids, your friends' kids. That's why we exist.
That's awesome. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time. I feel like we really need to let you go because you've been in this little corner of it's time.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But I just want to thank you so much for coming to us live from the CNE here and telling us really hot off the press about the truck, and for really inspiring us about the possibilities of building those partnerships provincially with Skills Ontario.
Yeah.
And also folks, locally with all the local partners that are there. So we'll be in touch.
If you were part of this lunch and learn and you sat there and went, this was a waste of my time, I do apologize. If you feel you didn't get anything out of this, please give me a call. Maybe we can talk about something else that'll help you along the way. This was very much, I did the best I could within my circumstances.
It was great.
And for those of you who are sending beautiful messages here, I do appreciate it. And I look forward to working with you guys down the road. Kesba, Suzanne, reach out to me anytime. Paul, it was a pleasure meeting you. And guys, you have yourself a great day.
Thank you so much, Dan. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone for coming. And don't forget, next week, we're going to wrap up our 4-part series by really drilling down into what does the future of work mean for us as adult and continuing educators. So please come back same time, same day, 1 week from now, Tuesday at 1 p.m. And we're going to divide up into our sectors to talk about the implications of how do we promote skilled trades with our learners? How do we really look at the changing labor market? How do we look at the whole idea of a career framework and upskilling and reskilling and all of that? So stay tuned. We will continue next week. Thank you so much, Dan. Thanks again.
Thanks to
Beaucoup.
everyone. Thanks to everyone.
Okay, have a
Merci
great day,
beaucoup.
everyone.
Oui, il
Merci
faut me-
beaucoup.
Puis je sais pas s'il y a des francophones ici, mais Skills
Oui.
Ontario, c'est en français aussi. C'est vraiment important. Nos écoles francophones sont très importantes.
C'est
We work with them
parfait.
too, okay?
That's
Can I go?
fantastic.
Can I go?
Yes, you can.
Thanks,
Okay,
Dan.
merci beaucoup. Bonne journée.
Reach out
Okay,
anytime, guys.
bye
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Suzanne.